Peter Gunston, and this is part three of What Do Democrats Have to Offer? I talk about the ACLU, the Freedom from Religion Foundation, MoveOn.org, and other similar organizations that are attacking Christians and Catholics' religion and faith. They're attacking Christian morals, values, and principles, and they're also attacking our Christian way of life. Some of you here already know some of this information. Others of you know a little. And some of you, unfortunately, are completely in the dark about this. I myself, I try to keep up with as much information as possible so I can share this information with others. They can be informed, and then they can go on and inform other people. Look what happened in early 2019 in New York State. New York lawmakers passed a law allowing a woman to have late-term abortions, 9 months into pregnancy, but that wasn't enough for them. So they decided to push it up to the moment after the baby is born, called infanticide. So that means if there's an unsuccessful abortion, baby is born healthy, the mother has two decisions. She can keep the baby or she can abort it. If she aborts it, it's called infanticide. Now, when this law passed, I happened to be via television, news channel was on. I saw New York lawmakers celebrating, not kidding, like it was New Year's Eve. It didn't seem natural to me. Something, was wrong. They were celebrating like a cure for some major disease was just discovered. I mean, they were jumping up and down. The New York governor, Governor Cuomo of New York, he even lit the New York skyline pink in celebration of this. Just didn't seem natural. I never saw anything like that. So, right now, there are certain groups and certain people trying to discourage people from practicing, teaching, and portraying our Christian faith. And they're trying to discourage people from living on the morals and principles that we as Christians were brought up on. And you know how they're doing this? They're trying to do this by manipulating society and trying to make people believe that their new ideological liberal ways are correct, humane, politically correct, non-discriminating, and the right thing to do. They're trying to make it sound nice. In the meantime, what do we got going on? We got traditional marriage being attacked. Look what just happened. The Pope accepted, oh yes, same-sex marriage is okay. You know why? Because there's people in the back pushing him, activists and humanitarians pushing the Pope. They want to push things onto people's religion, which goes against their religious beliefs. So you got traditional marriage being attacked. If you're against abortion, you're criticized. And if you pray in public or portray your Christian faith in public, you're persecuted or even court-martialed or told to leave the place you're in. The Ten Commandments and nativity scene displays are being removed and taken down from public places such as government lands and buildings. And for what? To please other people coming from other foreign countries with other foreign beliefs and religions that attack our religious beliefs. They come here and they say, I don't like your cross. I don't like your nativity scene display in Christmas time of Mary, Jesus, and Joseph. It's a traditional value. After all, what the hell? Our country, America, was brought up on Judeo-Christian heritage. So why the heck should we bend our back for them? Why should America bend its back? After all, America was brought up on Judeo-Christian roots. In the meantime, you have fresh minds going into university, young students as freshmen, and they're being indoctrinated by some of the professors and administration's new ideological ideas. If the students disagree, they challenge them, then they get a negative grade. They risk failing the course, being criticized by students, or all of the above. Now, some of you are saying, this never happened to me or anyone I know. What am I talking about, right? But believe me, it's happening. And as some people do, they don't take action until it's too late and it happens to them. Now, listen to this story. There was a football coach talking about Christian persecution. He decided to say a silent 15-second prayer after every football game, win or lose. This was in high school in Washington State. First Liberty Institute defended him after they fired him. Now, look why they fired him. They fired him. He decided to do this, then prayer, 15-second quick prayer after every football game. His team decided to join him. As soon as his team decided to join him, things were fine for 7 weeks, 8 weeks. Then the school got involved. They got their lawyers. They said, look, we're going to file legal proceedings against you. So the students left. They stopped praying with him after every football game, and he started continuing to pray alone like he did in the beginning. They still fired him. even though they said that he could not pray with the students. They never said alone, but they still fired him. Another story in Oregon, a family, Melissa and Aaron Klein, they had a business called Sweet Cakes. They had 5 children. This business was their bread and butter to keep them going and raise their family. What happened? A gay couple walks in one day and they say, would like you to bake us a cake according to our parameters, our gay parameters. This is what we want for a gay wedding. Melissa and Aaron Klein declined politely. They said, look, I'm sorry, this is against religious beliefs. They were very calm, very nice. And what does the gay couple do? They sue them. Oregon State fines the Kleins, Sweet Cakes Bakery, confiscates their bank account, $135,000 gone. Then they force them to continue making cakes for any same-sex couple without question if they want to stay in business, and they force them to follow whatever the clients want. Doesn't matter, regardless of Aaron's and Melissa's Christian or Catholic belief. If they want to stay in business, they got to comply with Oregon State's rules, even if they're a private bakery and it goes against religious beliefs. We got another story about a 33-year Air Force veteran, Oscar Rodriguez. They gave Oscar Rodriguez trouble because he was performing a ceremony for an Air Force sergeant who was retiring. He was doing a flag folding ceremony. One of the lieutenants there knew that Oscar Rodriguez performed many of these flag folding ceremonies. Problem is, Oscar Rodriguez, for the lieutenant, mentioned God and Jesus, and it was those religious parameters that this lieutenant said, no, if he's going to be talking about religion and God and Jesus, I don't want him to make this speech. I don't know why. It's just ridiculous. If you do a ceremony, sometimes that comes up, right, in funerals and things like that. Anyways, Oscar Rodriguez started, and an airman from the crowd said, are you really going to do this? Oscar Rodriguez said, do what? Mention God? Of course I'm going to mention God. It's part of the speech. I've done several of these ceremonies. I'm known for it. So what happens? He starts his speech. As soon as he starts getting into that religious area about God and Jesus, a couple of airmen go up to the stage. A lieutenant and a sergeant go up in the stage. They literally force him out of the stage because he started talking about these things, which they warned him not to do. Now, this is not a fancy video, so I'm not going to do slides, and I'm not technologically oriented to do all this stuff, but I want to make sure that you get this information regardless. So I'm going to be reading some things so you can better understand what's going on. The Democratic Party hide their hostility to Catholics. Look at this. The chair of the Democratic National Committee, Tom Perez, announced that pro-life Americans are no longer welcome in the Democrat Party. And here's this. You could take a snapshot. Here we have something from America's Prayer Network. Pelosi mocks Pence's religion, and Muslim Democrat mocks Pence's Christianity. Okay. And then we have here America's Prayers Network. It says 1998. In 1998, Nancy Pelosi voted against the school prayer amendment. And just 2 short months after the horrific terrorist attacks in America in 2001, Pelosi even voted against allowing our children to pray in their schools to comfort them during the war on terror. Look at this. Probably some of you Christians or Catholics there received this in the mail, but does America hate God? It says here, I'm not going to read all of it, it's too much, but it says in Des Moines, Iowa in 2006. This is going way back. Now we're in 2020, and it's really bad right now, the persecution of us Christians and Catholics. The IRS is going after, churches and Christian organizations, taxing them higher. You heard what Trump said the other day. This is all fact. The God-hating Americans United for Separation of Church, that's another organization besides the ACLU and the Freedom from Religion. The God-hating Americans United for Separation of Church and State won a lawsuit when a federal judge ordered a Bible-based prison program out of the Newton Correction Facility and ordered the Bible group to repay the state of Iowa $1.53 million. Just because they were a Bible-based prison program, which is better than the norm. They were trying to do an alternative program, which is Christian-based. It's better than usual, trying to help the inmates, and they get sued. Stigler, Oklahoma, 2006. The America-hating American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, sued to have the Ten Commandments, like I was mentioning earlier, the Ten Commandments removed from the lawn of the Haskell County Courthouse, even though it was erected with private funds. Then we got the White House, 2009. President Barack Hussein Obama dropped the long-standing practice of holding a public event at the White House to commemorate the National Day of Prayer. Trump kept the National Day of Prayer. Why did Obama knock the national prayer, out of the tradition? By the way, many people say that Obama was anti-Christian, the most anti-Christian president ever. Here we got a magazine from Newsmax. This is back in July 2012. We started having problems that early with, Christian persecution against Catholics and Christians. It says right there, Obama versus religious freedom, Holy Bible with a thick chain and a lock around it. Anyways, I just wanted to show you that. I'm going to continue this. On the air at MSNBC in 2013, radical left-wing TV host Lawrence O'Donnell demands President Obama get rid of the Bible when he is sworn in as president, saying it is filled with things that no one in the United States of America believes. And I'm going to hold up page 2 of this so you guys can read it, take a snapshot, read it in your spare time. I would read it right away so you can really know what's going on. And then we have Arlington National Cemetery, 2018. The ACLU and other liberal atheist groups won a lawsuit to force the Pentagon to start removing crosses formerly used as grave markers in all the nation's military cemeteries. That's page 3. It's a lot of information here, so I'm just going to go one by one. There's page 4. You can take your snapshot. And then we got page 5. And what do we have here? These are letters that they sent to me. Of course, they're asking for donations. These people deserve the help. They're trying to do something good too. Like I'm trying to do something good. I'm not asking for donations though. I just want to get this information out because it's ridiculous. Page 7. So you can go ahead and ignore all the parts that says donations and everything, but I just want to show you that, this is just from a legitimate source, and that I actually get these letters, and I don't throw away all my mail because I think it's important to understand all this. So now I'm going to read something else that I have here, and I'm going to end this video a little short, and I'm going to continue the second part of part 3, which is anti-religious policies and attacking people's religious freedom, especially the Judeo-Christian heritage. This is by the way, the coach story that I told you about, the story about the couple and the family that had the wedding cake bakery, and the guy about Oscar Rodriguez, the Air Force guy who served 20 years in the Marines, gave up his business to go into the Air Force and serve the Air Force, and then they dragged him off the stage because of mentioning God and Jesus. Something stupid, First Liberty Institute is responsible for helping people like this, for helping people with these kinds of, religious freedom attacks. First Liberty's unique strategy translates into big wins. Here it says they won at the U.S. Supreme Court because the Mojave Desert Veterans Memorial, they wanted to remove the crosses. It's ridiculous. A U.S. Navy chaplain threatened with discharge for conducting private counseling with sailors based upon the Bible. I'm just going to show you this page. You can take a snapshot of that. And I will be back just right now so we can continue the second part of part 3. Attack against religious freedom and anti-religious policies happening by the Democrats. Thank you.